home logged in. So we're basically going to be talking about music therapy, how music is the most therapeutic thing out there. And I'm going to be talking to Samay Ajmera from Empower Minds. So let me add him. We're waiting for him to join. Hi, Samay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Trying to get by with this whole lockdown.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
How have you been dealing with it so far?
Literally music. I'm either listening to music, playing music, singing. It's music. All sorts of music.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you been learning a lot of music since you have a lot of free time, I'm assuming?
I have. So I used to play the keyboard since I was little.
Right.
But I used to play it like in the Hindustani classical way. So I'm learning how to play chords, and I have actually done a lot of, I've learned a lot of songs. So it's been good so far.
Right.
It's been great. In a way, it's been great.
Awesome, yeah. It's a good time to rewire the brains and learn new songs and scales and whatever it is that works for you.
This is the time. Literally, it is the time.
Yeah.
What about you? How are you coping with the whole thing?
I've actually started doing a lot of chanting with music right now. It's something I always wanted to do, but never found. I was never able to get into the structure of it or make it a habit. But it's happening now because the free time, obviously. Discovering a lot of new music. Yeah, finally, like taking time out and finding things that I enjoy. Yeah, so that's been really good.
Good stuff.
And
I think that this is the time.
Playing my instrument again after long. Yeah.
So what do you play?
So I play the guitar primarily. But in music therapy, I come with like 30 different instruments.
Wow.
We have djembes, mini keyboards, shakers, netlophones, a lot of different things depending on what the client wants. And a lot of people love rhythmic instruments more, melodic instruments more. So they have that opportunity to explore different sounds and methods of music.
That's super fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to be a performer back in the day, like hardcore blues music.
Wow.
And that sort of went away. But now with the lockdown, I'm able to get back into it and practice the scales and play along to my favorite artists. And I find that really rewarding, and it sort of
It actually
validates my own musicianship. Yeah.
It does. Like, initially when this entire lockdown started, as everyone else, I was super bored too. And I was just wondering, how is this time actually gonna pass? But believe me, from the moment I wake up to like 3 in the night, I'm literally on the keyboard trying to figure something out. And even that time, so like it's kind of been fun.
Yeah. I mean, even like before the lockdown, when I was working a lot with clients, obviously music is a big part of my life with work. I mean, after work as well. I think the first week of the lockdown, I was just away from music for like a couple of days. And that gave me a good break too, And then I was like, this is weird. I need to get back into it. And I don't know. It sort of helps take a little break from it, especially when it's part of your life every day.
When it is, yeah. There are days when you just don't want it to be everywhere. But
yeah, absolutely.
That's cool stuff. The chanting thing sounds super fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. They say you're supposed to chant loudly and not in your mind, and I found that really weird for myself, sitting in a room and just, going about this. But now I have like these YouTube chanting tracks that I can chant along with, so I don't feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this. There's someone else that's giving me a structure to sort of get it done.
That's very similar
really
to the vocal exercises that you're supposed to do. These sound insane. Like if I'm in the room, my parents would probably think I've lost my mind. Because you're supposed to be like, it's crazy stuff. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's so funny because a couple of days ago, I was watching this YouTube video of how Tina Turner, she used to do the Namyo Renge Kyo for a long time. And she was on Oprah. And Oprah, I think it was another interview, I'm not sure, but they asked her to chant it, and the way she did it, I was like goosebumps everywhere. It felt like a vocal exercise, but in that, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It is.
So being a singer, it really helps to, use your voice in a chanting way and modulate that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, I am super excited about the whole music therapy thing because, as I was telling you in the morning, I think the reason why I even got into music was because it's just different for me. I connect at every possible place. Like, I mean, if you'd ask anyone who knows me, I am into music the entire day. So if it's not singing, music has to be playing in the background. Wherever I am, if I'm cooking, I'm in the shower, the music has to just be there. And so, I mean,
have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with like a melody in your head and like, oh God, I need to get this?
I sleep with my phone next to me for a reason. I have woken up with lyrics in my head because I'm also a songwriter.
Right.
And there was this song that I was for a long time, and there was this one line. I didn't know the next morning that I actually wrote that down until I was going through my notes. And I was like, where did that come from?
Wow, that's quite insane.
I'm a little music fanatic. It just has to be there everywhere. I listen to music on loop. I think so. When the Kabir Singh album came out, I was I was on my way back home from US. It was about 6 to 7 hours on loop the entire album. It was like that. So I'm a little crazy out there, but so I'm super excited about this entire music therapy session, and I think all our viewers are as well. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So should we begin? Should we get into it? And
I think we can get into it, and then we can run through the comments a little later, maybe. And
sure.
If anyone has a question.
Right. So interesting fact, before we get into the whole music therapy and how people can use music at this during the lockdown, I want to begin by saying that when you're listening to music, there's something really, really cool going on in your brain. There's a lot of research, like recent research, that has found that your entire brain is lighting up. And it's not just, a lot of people thought that it's only the left part of your brain that's sort of the creative part or that's getting stimulated, but that's not true. It's we have neurons. We have about 1 billion plus neurons, 100 billion plus neurons in our brain. And when you listen to music, they're all firing up with each other. So think of this, right? You're listening to a song. It could be a song with lyrics. Let's look at a song with lyrics, for example.
Okay.
And what's going on at that point? You're visualizing something, maybe the past, maybe like a flawed relationship or a memory that you really enjoy, whatever it is, you're visualizing it, or you're probably thinking about a beautiful field or something. Either way, there's some sort of visual stimulation going on. Your visual cortex is kind of lighting up, right? And then you're distinguishing between the verse and the chorus. So your auditory cortex is also stimulating because the sound processing that's all going on, and this is all happening at the same time. And then you feel emotions, obviously, right? Happiness, sadness, joy. Everyone feels something different. That's the amygdala doing its work. And then you're also remembering certain lyrics that you heard 2 years ago, and it's coming back to you. So the memory part of your brain is also lighting up. Musicians who are playing, they're kind of differentiating between space and sounds. So the occipital lobe is also lighting up. So all of this is happening at the same time, and it really blows my mind to know that my entire brain is like working right now. So it's like a full body workout for the brain, if I may say.
It sounds like that.
Yeah. And I think that awareness itself made me listen to music differently, and it added more of a structure in my life where it was more of I need to dedicate at least half an hour of music listening, even though I don't want to, but I need to get it in some part of my day, and it automatically changes my mood. So people who are out there right now in the lockdown, I know it's a really difficult time, but music is something that can really help you. In today's world, we have things like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. There's so many different platforms, right? And we're almost in this analysis paralysis kind of situation where there's so many options. Which one should I go for, right? the first thing I'd like to say is find the music that you really, really like. It doesn't matter who sent it to you or what's the new trend. It really doesn't matter. Forget about the genre. It's not important just yet. If it sounds good to you, that's enough. So what I do is I literally I have a big playlist, and I keep revisiting that playlist, adding new songs to it, things that I've discovered, only if I like it. So when my friends send me albums or music, I'm not like, it's not for sure that I'm going to like it. So I just, okay, cool. And if I like it, then I also try to find artists similar to that music, right? So that keeps building my repertoire. And I think this is a really cool method to really, really get into the whole music listening process. We obviously do listen to music every day on the radio, at home, with friends, but it's such a personal thing, right? I mean, Malika, being a musician yourself, you'd understand, right? It's such a subjective thing.
It is.
What I mean, like, yeah.
Something that I was literally discussing with my mom a few days ago is that, I'm sure it's related because sometimes you're listening to a song that you probably heard like years ago in a particular phase of life. And when you listen to it again, you literally go back to that place.
Yeah.
There are these particular songs that I used to sing back in school, and I haven't heard them for like donkey years. And when I hear them, I'm just it feels like I'm sitting in class and actually singing it.
Yeah,
so I think music has a huge power out there. I mean, I think and that's something that I think everyone really connects with, right? Everyone likes music. I don't think there's a soul out there who doesn't. So
I did have one client who didn't like music at all, and I was like, oh God, what do I do? But then we realized that he was just afraid and a little, his mood was not right, and he just had this attitude where, no, I don't want to get into this. But within 2 weeks, he was like jamming with me and singing, and I was like, whoa, where did this come from? So it obviously evoked something deep inside him that, came out, I think right now, also with the lockdown, it's not just about listening to music and having it at the background. Sure, that does help, but you got to make it an activity. You got to indulge a good quality of time in it where you can have music that, like you said, takes you back to specific areas of your life. And I think that's really cool because sitting in your bedroom, you can go back to a certain point and you actually become that person, and you can change things about yourself that you probably didn't like in the past. And it kind of gives you a reference. Oh, this is what I was 2 years ago. I was listening to this song, and no, I'm not that person anymore. These are the changes I want to make. Or the whole it can transcend to literally any point of your life, and that's really important. It also really, of course, helps you calm down. Again, there's so much research out there that classical music helps, or these ragas help, and I'm not a big believer of that because, again, what you like works. So if someone out here is looking, if you're looking for music that relaxes you, I would suggest listen to it for a minute. That's enough. Listen to it for 1 minute to realize whether you like it or not.
Right.
The brain, like I said, the brain is working so fast, like doing it all together. It doesn't take more than 30 seconds to 1 minute to realize whether I like this or I don't like it. If you don't like it in 1 minute, let it go, find something else. Yeah.
Because, a lot of people also believe in instrumental music, actually calming you down, or whatever. For me, it honestly isn't like that. I prefer music with lyrics because I think from day one, it's always been about the lyrics.
Right, yeah.
That's what adds
I agree,
to me. So, I think people, see things differently and like things differently, which is cool because there's so much
Absolutely,
out there.
Yeah. Another thing that helps me with the lockdown, there's a lot of cleaning that I'm doing in my house, like literally every day, right? And that gets really, really boring after a point. Same sweeping of the floor in the kitchen, etc. I just put my earphones on and I listen to something upbeat that really puts me in the momentum, and I kind of forget that I'm sweeping, and it's by the time a couple of songs are done, my work is also done without me really complaining and be like, oh God, I gotta get through this. So I think in that aspect,
I think workout, a lot of people, even me inclusive, I make a playlist which is like upbeat because you don't really realize when you're done with it, and it kind of gets you to that. That's great.
Yeah.
Music is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that really helps, that why we all connect to music is I think that there's some void inside a person. There's some sort of loneliness every person has, no matter what. Because, I mean, you're going to die. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. We have a really cool activity coming up, and my speaker just kind of went crazy, but we'll get to that later. So I think this feeling of loneliness is quite strong right now during the lockdown. You're not talking to friends, you're not interacting, and we are social animals at the end of the day. I think that's where music can really, really help you, where, say you're feeling sad on one particular day. When we feel sad, when we feel lost, we often feel we're not, no one else can understand me, right? Mm-hmm. And that can change when there's your favorite song going on, because that's the real connection that's happening. Oh yes, I can relate to this music. Right. You must have heard that word a lot. I relate to this. You know, I don't know what it makes me feel, but I relate to it, and that's more than enough, right, to get by for the day. Yeah. So these are a couple of cool things that happen when you're listening to music or playing music. I think this is a good time for people to also learn a new instrument or sing. Singing, you can probably help me with this. I think it really builds your confidence when you sing, even if it's by yourself, and you don't have to be the best singer out there, right?
I mean, I've always been singing this. I think singing, and music in general, definitely, but singing also is so therapeutic. And especially for all of you who play. I've always been playing the keyboard, but as I mentioned, it was different earlier. I used to use a lot of tracks, and I've realized that when you're actually on an instrument and playing and singing to it, it's a different level of high. It's a different way. You really feel like you're in therapy, which is great. So definitely, any of you who play an instrument or sing or even enjoy singing, just do it, because it's definitely gonna make you feel much lighter and great. That is something that I can give you my word on.
Absolutely. There are a lot of apps also online that help you improve your singing at a beginner's level as well. So I think Musician, if I'm not mistaken, is there, but I guess if you Google it, there's so many options.
I've heard of Musician.
Again,
The easiest way for beginners would be put on a karaoke track from YouTube. Sing along, because I'm sure you know the song. It's literally the easiest way, the most fun way, and it's going to get you where you want to go, for sure.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Now with today's time, you get almost all tracks and all scales, and I'm sure that you have your little apps to change your scales and all. You don't have to really go perform. It's just about getting it out of you. So I think that could help.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely, yeah. Just sing for 10 minutes, 15. Take your favorite song and sing along to it. Do it every day. You will get better at some point, because another interesting fact, Malika, is from the time we're born, we're already predisposed to music. Every single person has music in us. Think of this: when you're in utero, in your mother's womb, the first thing you listen to is the heartbeat and the gush of the womb. A lot of studies say that there's an interesting study when the child was in utero, the mother would play a particular song for a couple of months, and then a year later, after not listening to that song at all, they did an experiment where the child would kind of signal the hand to that song that they heard, to that speaker that was playing that song. So a big part of your music happens when you're already in utero. You're born with it. Similar to movement, you're just born to move. You're born to dance and listen to music and appreciate music. So we are all musicians. We have it in us. Now, you don't have to be, of course, to be a professional musician, you got to practice hard every day. But to enjoy music and make it a fun habit, it's something everyone can do. And like you said, there's so many apps available.
It's really, I think someone also mentioned Star Maker, and it's something that I haven't used personally, but a lot of people have been asking me about it. So, definitely, if you can use the apps, great, but a super simple way is YouTube, because I believe that that's something that I did a lot. It always helped me, and it's at your disposal, it's out there. So, just do it out of fun, if nothing else, and it's definitely going to help you through it. Because I think we're all, at least in the lockdown, we're trying to do different things, right? Yesterday I was painting. You're just trying to do different things anyways. So then might as well, you're into music, you like music, try singing, see how it works out for you. Try playing something. Yeah, I think
Yeah, absolutely.
something that would work out for
Even,
everyone.
yeah. Another thing that I like to do is if I'm journaling or like doodling or something, I like to have music at the back. I prefer instrumental music at this point because
Right.
it just, lets me flow with it and just doodle with it and just write down whatever's coming to my mind. It gives me a kind of grounding structure to just sort of release. I find that quite interesting. So people out here, if you're like painting or drawing or writing, try doing it with music at the back. It really helps.
Definitely,
Or even if you're,
I'm a strong believer too. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I know of a lot of people who, I have friends, really close friends who are also artists, and when they're painting or, doing something, they always have music running in the background, which, we've spoken about actually helps them through it. I think it kind of increases your creativity for some reason.
Absolutely, yeah. It's interesting because right now, I was reading a Forbes article and they said the first thing that people should focus on in life, no matter what field you're in, is creativity. Because we're getting into this whole technology kind of world where soft skills are going to be important. We're going to have our computers to do all the technical work, but the essence of a human being is really going to come out now. Skills like empathy, creativity, and I think music can really play a big role. I feel I become more empathetic when I'm listening to music because I'm already trying to understand the artists and the lyrics. So that kind of helps me as well. Yeah. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with music, and I know you guys do listen to music, but just having this in mind will sort of make you listen to music differently and just understand the process more and why it's such an amazing thing.
Yeah, when you speak about empathy, another thing that I'd really suggest is, guys, there's a particular song that you relate to. Open the lyrics, read it while you're actually listening to the song, and I really feel that that's going to make you realize a lot more. You're going to connect with the artist of the song a lot more. Again, coming from a place where lyrics mean the world, I always connect to a song where the lyrics make sense. And I personally believe that it really helps to have the lyrics out there when you're listening to a song. So
yeah, have you heard "Hand in My Pocket" by Alanis Morissette by any chance?
I haven't, but I'd love to listen to it.
Because when you're speaking about lyrics, we do this activity in therapy actually. So the song is basically she talks about one negative thing and replaces it with like a positive thing. For example, I'm broke, but I'm happy. I am short, but I'm kind. And it's a really peppy, upbeat song. So we actually print those lyrics out and give it to our clients. And when they listen to the song, they're singing with it and just understanding what the whole structure is and how she's made these lyrics and what's going on. And we make them do the same thing in their life, where you write down one positive thing and one negative thing. It's called lyrical analysis. It's a technique in music therapy where lyrics really help. And sometimes we say, for example, your favorite song is Bohemian Rhapsody. You print out the lyrics and you kind of replace the lyrics with things that you're going through as life as you know it. And that's super fun because you can just take out mama, na, na, na. You can just change it to something else, what's going on in your life. It's a cool form of journaling, which doesn't take that long. And you simply put important words that you can relate to. And then you look at it and you're like, whoa, this is what's happening in my life in a nutshell. And then you sing it out in the same melody, and it's super fun. Yeah.
It sounds great.
So this is
something that I'd like to try.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
As I'm saying, it's kind of crazy as to what all music can actually do.
Yeah. Do you listen to music before bed or something, like relaxing music, or is that not your thing?
I don't, majorly because something that you said, how you took that week off of music, because it was too much. I'm literally doing music all the time, so at least this lockdown period, I have been trying to play music right before I go to bed. It's just like a little half an hour when I'm on my phone before bed. So I try not to listen to music because I think it gets a little too much then.
Right, for sure.
But I think that's majorly because music is a huge part of my day. But I know of a lot of people who do listen to music right before they go to bed, and it really helps them.
Right, yeah. Yeah, again, it comes down to what music you like. Even if it's relaxing music, what really relaxes you. Sometimes, a lot of this on YouTube, there's so many of these relaxing tracks and sleep music and this wave and that wave. It really doesn't matter because there's no significant evidence that this is going to work. Just
it doesn't work.
Find what you like for a minute.
That's what I can tell.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
there was this little phase in school when, you know, we had like our boards coming up and there was like, you had to sleep.
Yeah.
And I put those wave music because that's one thing that I distinctly remember. It woke me up, there was no way to put me to sleep. So yeah, for me, I think it's very, very personal. But
yeah, for sure. It doesn't help me either because as the musician mind is taking over, I'm like, oh, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen this 1 minute later or something? So I'm like, no, I can't do it.
You're constantly thinking, right? So it gets a little taxing for us.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm going to take a quick minute. Hey guys, for everyone who's joining in and commenting, thank you so much for being here. And we're going to be answering, majorly Samay is going to be answering all your questions once we're done with the little activity that he's planned for us.
Right. So what we're going to do is I have about 4 tracks for y'all. Okay. And I'm only going to play it 30 seconds each track. You need to be ready with either a pen or paper or just your notes on your phone, like the note app on your phone. For people who are, well, they're already on their phone, so maybe they can, let's give them about a minute to get a pen and paper or something, or however they want to write it. How do you guys want to write it? Do you want to, on the phone, is that easier, or a pen or paper? What works right now at this point?
I have a feeling they're going to write on their phone because we've gotten to a time where, you know, when you're supposed to write things on paper, you're also using the phone.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, just whip your phone out and write it down. I'm just going to set up the speaker so you can take this time to find your, to get ready. Okay. So I'll just do a quick sound check. Malika, you can tell me if it's loud enough or not.
Sure.
Are you able to hear?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So should we go for this? Are you guys ready? All you have to remember, all you have to do is the first feeling that comes within 30 seconds, just write it down. It could be a word, it could be a sentence. Don't try to see, oh, this music is really fast or this music is rock and roll. Don't try to describe the music. Just close your eyes and just write down the first feeling that comes. It could be joy, sadness, anger, whatever it is that comes up. So essentially you should have 4 feelings. And there's no right or wrong. Just trust your gut with this. And then I'll tell you what to do after that. So I think, can we begin with song number 1?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah? Okay, so song number 1 coming up. Here we go. So I'm hoping everyone has already got something down. We're going to go to song number 2. Malika, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, song number 3 coming up. last song. Here we go. Okay. Malika, do you have four feelings or emotions or anything that's come up? Would you like to share it with us?
Yeah, for sure. So, well, the first one I think was really calm, like chill and calm.
Okay, so we have calm.
Yeah, the second one was excited, like excitement.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's power for the third one.
Okay. Okay.
And the fourth one is not necessarily a feeling, but for some reason I had to write down magical.
Okay.
So yeah.
Great. So you have four different feelings, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
What you got to do now is look at your work, look at those four feelings, and look at feelings that you want more of and that you want less of. For example, maybe you want more calm in your life.
Right.
Maybe you want less calm in your life, doesn't matter. Just put a tick mark to the feelings that you want more of and a cross to what you want less of. Yeah?
Right.
Once you've done that, you gotta, after this chat or whenever you have time today, you gotta find out things you can do to increase those feelings more especially in the next 2 weeks. So what steps can you take in your life to, say, get more calm in your life or more peace? What steps can you take to get more magical feelings? Maybe you want to write a song and that makes you feel magical or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. If someone has a negative feeling or like something like sadness or anger and you don't want that, think of ways you can reduce that in your life. So what essentially is happening here is these emotions are already inside you. The music has just helped you resurface it. It's literally a 5-minute process, which is fun. You don't have to spend time talking to people or journaling or meditating. It's like a quick emotional checklist. But this only works if you do it again after a week. And you can do this with any music that you've not heard before. And it should be instrumental because the lyrics can come and, sort of interfere with that thought process. So make sure the music that you choose is instrumental. You can go to YouTube and just find a lot of music and give it 30 minutes. The feeling should come. It should be the first gut feeling, Don't think that, but I'm not sad. If it's coming up, validate it, respect it, and write it down. And now, for example, say today anger came up and you want to decrease that. So when you do this activity a week later, if anger is showing up with another track, that means it's still there somewhere inside you and you're probably not taking the steps that you are supposed to take. So it's a quick emotional checklist that you can do for the rest of your life. In fact, I do this every 2 weeks and I find it super therapeutic and fun. And it also helps me find new different types of music. So yeah, it's a really cool, fun activity that we do.
It is.
To quickly get your emotions out.
Oh yeah, I mean, it definitely, it's the fun thing. Guys, if any of you all have, it on your phone, whatever, you could probably list down like 4 of them and just type them down so we can check them out as well. I really want to see what other people saw.
Yeah.
It was like the last one was like this fairy tale feeling that I had, and I was just.
Yeah. It's interesting because everyone has different feelings. Some of them, like, I know the first song, a lot of people write calm and peace. Maybe it's the music, but there are a lot of people who write something completely different, like suspense or fear or anxiety, which is that brings me back to the point that a lot of people say, oh no, but the song is like that. That's why I'm feeling it. Well, that's not true because someone else who's heard the same song will feel something differently. So it's quite evident that the feelings are within you, and it's not just the music that's creating it. It's just bringing it out, right?
Right. That's fun. Like, that's really, I mean, that's what I thought as well, that, probably it's the music and that's why you're writing it down. But then now that you mentioned saying something absolutely different, that is interesting. Yeah. So check it out again after a week with different music and see what's coming up. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions?
Do we have questions? Yeah. Does anyone want to ask anything about music and music therapy, maybe, or what music does to you, or anything? Feel free.
I'm gonna scroll up because I think there were a few questions or
Right.
Um, okay, so Dhruv asks, what inspires you to follow music therapy? Sama, I think you can take that one.
What inspires me?
Yeah.
I think as a child, music has, affected me so deeply, so profoundly that it was always there. But I guess after college, it sort of went away, and I was like, I need to do like a corporate job or something like that.
Right.
And then I didn't play music for 2 years, and I was like, man, something is wrong. This is not right. And then I happened to stumble upon a music therapy course, and that sent me to work in a hospital for 6 months, and that changed my whole life. Like, I felt like I was still a musician, still performing, but for a different reason, like, working with people in cancer care, helping them sort of die peacefully, so to say, or helping someone in the psych ward with music. And the feeling that you get, that really inspires me when clients sort of break through with music therapy and achieve a goal that they're wanting to, that's something that they didn't know. Or if I'm working with a kid who's got autism and, we're working on communication skills, the brain again processes singing much easier than speaking. So for kids on the spectrum, it's really powerful. And then I've seen kids learn new words and actually make full sentences through singing, and that itself is like, whoa, this is like magic. Whoa, what's happening? I use music with people with brain damage as well, to remember things in their life or to begin walking again. A lot of people lose their motor skills. So guys, think about this. Like, it's a simple example. I'm sure a lot of y'all have been for a concert, or like, let's look at EDM music, for example. Malika, maybe you can say what's happening in EDM music. There's like this build up, right? The drop word that happens.
Right.
Oh, look at this drop, What happens when the music drops, like, to you physically? What do you do? What's the first thing you do? If you're at a concert, or think about it.
Personally, a drop is, I don't know, it's exciting. When you're referring to the drop in media.
So, when the drop happens, you kind of, the first thing you do at a concert, you find yourself moving a bit, maybe shaking your head, maybe going crazy, but you never woke up in the morning and said, "Oh, I'm going for a..." Yeah.
Sorry.
So
it's crazy being home and trying to do these live sessions because it's like everywhere, and phones are ringing and doorbells.
Yeah.
It's madness.
Absolutely.
I think it definitely. It's like for a second you're just like, what happened?
Yeah.
When the drop is there.
Yeah, and then you involuntarily start moving, right? So what's happening is you never planned that I'm going to do this step or shake my leg. You never planned it. You just went with it. Essentially, your brain is responding to the music and saying, okay, something's going to happen. This anticipation is going to happen. And then the drop happens and you just respond to it. It's like a very natural thing. So with that technique, I actually help people begin walking again, people with brain damage, where we do a little rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we build it up, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they just, move their leg to it, they walk really slowly, and then over time they start walking even better because their muscles are responding, their brain is ready to do something, that anticipation.
Right.
Pumps up, exactly, yeah. Someone said pumps up.
I totally
It's essentially what happens.
Because it does.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's something, all these things happen to us in everyday life when we listen to music. We just don't realize it. And so I think being a music therapist, I've learned so much about the brain on music and how different people react to music and how amazingly powerful it is, As a kid, I knew, it's powerful, but I never really thought. I was like, oh, this is just me, I'm like the weird one listening to this weird rock song or something. But now I'm like, it really, really helped me in like so many different ways.
So
that's like the inspiration, yeah.
I think it's a lot. Even songwriting has been super powerful as a thing because you tend to. I've written a lot of stuff that I never thought I would be writing, and it's so similar because you're writing stuff down that's actually going on in your head that you don't really know is. And it's literally that, I didn't really, a classic example of that would be literally my own EP. So I was writing songs in different phases of my life. And then there are 3 songs in my EP and they're all interconnected as a story. And that actually happened because I wrote them while I was there. So, I think that and it was very, unplanned. It just happened because I felt that. And then when you look at the 3 songs together, you do realize how they're actually interconnected and how it builds up to make it a story. So I think, that really happens. It's always at the back of your head. You don't know about it, but it's there. And
Absolutely, For sure. Another interesting thing, pleasurable music releases dopamine and serotonin. Like, that's a known fact. Dopamine is let's call it a happy chemical that you get when you're probably eating good food or smoking a cigarette or just, just a pleasure-seeking thing. So when you're listening to music, the reason you're feeling good is because that chemical is getting transmitted. It's, pushing through different neurons, and that's how you feel good. That's why sometimes we get goosebumps also when we listen to a really good, aesthetically amazing track, where it just gives you this rush, and that one moment makes you feel really, really good, and that kind of gives you goosebumps. So keeping that in mind, try to find out in a day where you have low moments or you feel uneasy or something, and maybe that's a good time to incorporate music. It could be in the morning when you're taking a break from work, or at night. People who are trying to quit bad habits, maybe replace it with listen to music for about 10-20 minutes a day. That's really helpful.
But I think that definitely would help. Coming from a person like me who's always listening to different sorts of music, so I do realize that somewhere along the way it does help. And I think a lot of, at least everyone who's probably logged in, I'm sure that you guys would also realize how music helps, because I've received so many DMs. So I've been doing live sessions the last week where I sing live for people. And the amount of messages that I've received after where, they're like, you just made our day, or, it really lights up so many feelings. And that's really cool because, it's
absolutely
it's not about them listening to me, it's about them listening to the music, moreover.
It's absolutely
really fun, and I think as a musician it really makes me so happy. It's a different kind of high, for sure.
Absolutely.
But
it also kind of helps you be more disciplined about your work. When you say, hey, I'm going to go live in 2 days, it makes you prepare for it, or you actually get down to do it because you've announced it to the public, and now you got to do it. So
there have been
that's a really cool productivity
I've announced it, and then I'm just like, okay, so this song I know it, but I gotta do it again.
It keeps you on the ball.
It feels like this lockdown has also been work, but it's okay. I am someone who can't really sit idle either way, so it kind of works out for me.
Yeah, for sure.
But guys, if anyone else has a question for Samay or me, we're right here to answer.
Someone says we can entertain plus meditate by singing on Star Maker in the Corona curfew. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
You can entertain yourself, Yeah, I've never really gone through this app. It seems interesting. Should get it. Yeah.
But, Samay, if there are any other workshops that are happening, do let me know. I'll put it out as my story as well, because I do believe that there are a lot of my followers also who'd be interested. I'd be interested as well. So it'll be really fun. At least once, obviously once the whole lockdown.
Once the lockdown, absolutely. Yeah. Our workshops are really fun because they're not the company that I've started a year ago. It's not for people who are ill. It's just for anyone. Where we
Anyone.
look at cool aspects of how everyone can use creativity in their life, no matter what field, how mindfulness helps. So we actually break down the process by making our participants do the activities themselves. So there's a lot of group work, there's a lot of music playing, there's art, there's different things. So it's super fun. You don't have to, you know, be going through something to come for this workshop. If you just want to come and learn something, and we have different themes. So sometimes it's stress management, sometimes it's creativity, mindfulness, group collaboration, depending on the theme. So, and all of this is done precisely through music and different art activities. So
That's
definitely
fun.
check out for that. Yeah.
Yeah, please let me know. I'm gonna definitely want to come for one of them at least.
For sure.
So guys, does anyone have a question? Well, I'm not gonna be singing today. I'm doing another live session.
A lot of questions for you to sing.
It's always the case, but no, I'm gonna be going live soon, you guys. That's my way of, you know, giving therapy both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of music do you do live? Is it covers or like your own
Well,
stuff?
I do
or?
a lot. Yeah, no, so I usually do a lot of covers as well, and I tend to do. So my style of singing majorly would be like mashups, and they're gonna be like
Right.
surprise element mashups because I have like a Spanish song getting into like a Raj Kapoor song, getting into like an Arabian.
Wow.
You gotta wait and
That's so
see how
cool.
that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also have originals. So I just released my EP, which is known as Evolve. And
Okay, cool. I'm gonna find
also
that
coming
on.
out with new music. So I'll send you links to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genre-wise, I'm more of like a pop, R&B, soul kind of person. And Adele, for sure.
Mhm. Of course. She's something else, yeah.
Crazy.
I've been listening to a lot of old Bollywood music, and it's just so good. Like Mukesh and Burman, and
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, wow.
I've grown up listening to a lot of Kishore Kumar and
Right.
Adi because
Yeah.
of my dad and my mom. My dad's
Right,
a
yeah.
huge fan of Kishore Kumar. So even today, I do
Yeah.
a lot of Kishore Kumar.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I've
Awesome.
done like Adele with Kishore Kumar. Okay, I do crazy stuff. So like,
That's amazing. I can't wait to see that.
for sure, I'm gonna probably
another
go
cool.
live.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, they definitely are legends.
That brings me. Yeah. Another cool thing about music is it's a really strong bonding kind of thing. I've realized this quite recent in my own social life, where like my grandparents love Mukesh, and when that is just going on at the back, there's already this connection, and he'll start singing it, or we'll talk about it, and that just leads to a good, 1-2 hours spent with like
Oh, yeah,
good
yeah.
quality interaction, just because of the music at the background.
Definitely.
So-
I think I relate with a lot of people also who have the same taste in music.
Yeah.
Somewhere at the back, there are few artists that, obviously you like a little less, so, you're not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And instantly someone's like, that's my favorite artist. I'm like, okay. But like,
Yeah.
does not work for me. But like, okay.
Yeah. It's funny because if I like a song and I share it with someone and that person likes it, I tend to love it. Like, I'm saying, wow, I like this even more.
I love
It's got that ripple effect.
I'm literally that kind of person who will be like looking at their face if I'm making them listen to the music that minute to like see whether they're actually liking it or not. But yeah, I'm that
Yeah.
kind of person. Okay, so someone asks us what do we think about
yeah.
rap music. Me personally, I like rap music, but again, it depends on the artist. For me, so I used to, not that Akon used to rap a lot, but I used to love Akon's raps. And I've recently started listening to Drake, so I also kind of like a few of his songs. But what about you, Samay? Do you...
I do like certain songs. Like I like the Wu-Tang Clan because the hip hop beats is something that really turns me on. Like it's so therapeutic for me, that rap, slow, fast hip hop beat in itself. But I don't listen to rap music on a daily basis. However, I have used rap music with clients, and it's been amazing because we keep a hip hop beat at the background, and we explain to them what rap music is. Like a lot of rap music is about feelings and strong things, and we help them. We tell them to write a verse about their life in like just like 4 lines. So you have this pumped up drum beat going at the back, and people are moving in the rap style, and they've got like 4 lines, and they try to rhyme it. And they love it because it's those 4 essential lines about themselves has just come out with this rap music. So cool. That's quite enjoyable, yeah. But I'm not against rap music. I think right now there's a lot of good rap music coming out, especially after the whole Eminem days and stuff. Even like Gully Boy and stuff is amazing, yeah.
Yeah, no, for a person like you or me, I think we would listen to something a little more. I wouldn't say rap is not meaningful, but it takes you a while to actually get the lyrics in your head.
Yeah.
It just sounds really upbeat, but you don't really know what you're kind of like listening to until you kind of really know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't listen to rap on a daily basis either, but when I do, I'm like into that zone. So
yeah. It's I find it really cool when I want to get something done and I want it at the background, like it's got that momentum in it, and it just uplifts my mood and makes me feel confident.
It does.
And
it also
validates myself. Yeah.
So someone also asks us which singer is your inspiration? So which singer would be your inspiration?
So many. It's such a hard question, right?
Yeah,
it's like which top 20 singers. I don't know. Would you want to go first for this one?
I've answered it a lot, so yeah, I kind of really answered it. For me, at the top of the list would be Adele and Taylor Swift, both, because I've grown up listening to them and I've learned a lot when it comes to writing my own music and performing. But apart from that, I think when you talk about Bollywood, I have like Kishore Kumar and Adi Burman, who are really huge inspirations, because we've heard that Kishore Kumar was never really trained, and I'm like a little on a similar stage because I've never really received proper formal training. So it's always been like a few courses here and there that I've taught myself. Even the keyboard, the chords, I'm literally teaching myself right now. So apart from this, I would say there are another 100 artists in the list. But I think everyone is an inspiration. But these would be like at the top of the list. And I think Arijit Singh right now, Arijit Singh is such a huge inspiration because the way he sings.
Voice,
his voice is amazing. It's magical. You fall
you can tell it's his voice, right, when it comes on.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you're ready to fall in love when someone's playing Arijit Singh. It's literally that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Especially like the heartbreak songs, like whoa.
There have been times when I've heard like Tum Hi Ho and I've not been in love, but I'm like, hey, someone just like shattered.
I want to be in love.
I'm like, but there's no one. So it's like, that's the power of music, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure about singers. I'm more of a instrumental kind of, like I look at guitar parts a lot more than I look at the voice.
Okay.
But if I had to, on the top of my head, it's more about, the voice is not as important to me. It's about the song as a whole and the lyrics. Lyrics are so important for me.
I feel you.
You can have a singer who's not the best, not the top 100 in the world, but the lyrics are amazing, and it's got this kind of, it's like when you're speaking a language, right? Like, it's a different language and the different tonalities and stuff. So that is really cool. Like when there's a really powerful lyric, the way they shift the R or they roll their tongue at a certain point or express a little lyrically with the voice. That's really amazing for me. So it's not, for me, it's not about the voice. It's the lyrics make a big difference. And
when you mentioned
people that I like are not like,
I think like recently Bekar Ali, I'm sure you've heard the track. It has one of the most beautiful guitar pieces I've ever heard, at least for a Bollywood song. So.
Right, yeah. Definitely check it out. There's so much, even in like the past 2-3 years, the films that are coming out, there's so much nice background scores with guitars and like new kind of chord changes and stuff. It's amazing, like the way music is going right now. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's at 2 different places because like one way people are like recreating old music, which I'm not a very big fan of. And then there is this new music that's coming out, and the new music is so beautiful. It leaves you like spellbound for sure.
For sure, absolutely.
So guys, we're taking questions right now for everyone else who just logged in. Hi. And you know, okay, so
I'm not a singer, Malu.
Yeah. No, so he's a
I'm not a singer. I mean, I'm a therapist. I do sing, but I'm not really good, and I'm really, really shy when it comes to singing. Like everyone will just leave the room when I start singing. But it's something I'm working on right now, actually. Practicing
cool.
singing, and yeah. I think I don't know. I don't even call myself a musician.
No, but you do play the guitar, so that's you in that.
Yeah, I mean, if you scan my brain, there will be a little more music kind of neurons or something happening. That's what they say about people who play instruments. They have, I think, like a bigger area in their brain. I don't know which one it is, but it's like a known fact. So that's cool to know.
That's nice. Oh, I think they really want you to sing though.
It's not gonna happen. Everyone will just leave.
Are you part of any band?
I am not a part of any band. I just jam by myself or with friends. I used to be in a band. It's exhausting, Malika. I don't know if you will agree with this or not, because I used to spend days and days going for rehearsals, and man, it's exhausting because this was like 7 years ago, where it was so difficult to get gigs and like really get paid with it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that has just exhausted me into the whole band thing. It's a lot of work, yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Malika, who is your favorite singer? Well, my favorite singer, the list is crazy long. Also, my inspirations are my favorite singers. So it's Adele, Taylor Swift, Kishore Kumar, Asha ji, Lata ji.
Yeah.
You name it, yeah. It's Arijit Singh, Atif. It's a crazy long list.
Yeah.
What's your favorite music style? Well,
that keeps changing. Are you sorry?
Well, yeah, no, I was just asking.
Yeah, it just keeps changing all the time. Right now, I'm really into alternative rock.
Oh, cool.
Because again, the lyrics are so really important for me, and I find they're really cool. It changes actually within a day. Like in the morning, there'll be rock and roll going on. In the night, there'll be jazz. If I'm working, there'll be like relaxing music at the back. So, but I think my go-to at this point is alternative music. Yeah.
That's cool stuff. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I think you realize with time that I always thought that I was only going to do pop music, but the song that I'm working on, like, it's an original. It's actually soft rock, which I never thought that I'd do. So I think it, as you mentioned, it keeps changing. You keep liking different things.